All right, guys, so I'm here. This is another video. I'm here with Harold. Harold, if you'd like to present yourself to the people watching.
Hey, hello guys. My name is Harold, 22 years old. Met Nick last year, right? I have my AI agency, right? And I also have my solar business in the US.
Amazing. So Harold and I used to work together a little bit, especially on the sales side. And today we're going to talk about how much was it actually that we brought in revenue in total?
Revenue was, yeah, I mean, we were able to add thanks to your sales, strategies, coming into our company.
Yeah.
Around 40K US. That was in like 30 days. Yeah.
30 days, yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's cool. I even remember this one time, we're going to talk about that, but there's this one deal that we closed together where I had to call you and stuff like that. Yeah, that was really cool. Cool, man. So obviously, like, there was probably a lot of things that we did together.
Yep.
How was it like for us to work? Because obviously we were doing a bit of high ticket sales together. Yep. The SOP side, I remember even I was training some of the guys on the setting team.
Yep.
How would you describe just like, let's say before we started working together, and then as we started working together, what were some things that you felt we really provided as value for you?
It's a very good question, because I think that's the main problem with all agencies in general, is they think like the marketing, the offer could be how to create the agents, all the back end of an agency is the most important part to focus, right?
Yeah.
But once you have, let's say, 10 companies, 20 companies coming every month looking for your services, but the main gap from going to, let's say, adding this, for example, 40K revenue is just optimizing your sales conversion.
100%. Close rate, sales process.
Yeah, and that comes with like every single part needs to be well done. Can be the funnel, can be the selling, can be the script, can be how you speak to clients, can be the right questions in the sales call. And of course, if you want to grow like our agency and have like 100K a month and even more, you need to master the sales even before getting into, okay, I want to spend $10,000 for the ads, let's say next month.
Yeah, you need to have that process under order.
Exactly, yeah.
That's such a big thing because I think a lot of people out there could have the marketing like dialed in.
Yep.
You're getting leads, you're getting calls, but if you don't have somebody who can close those deals, it's like running water through a bucket with 100%. A hole. The water is just going to come out. So I guess for you, so I know obviously we worked on, when I came in, I believe, I think you had a couple closers there, something like that, and we dialed in really the scripting, the presentation was important, especially the offer it was a B2B AI infrastructure, right? Yeah, so the presentation for those guys are super important. Even when it came to managing the setters or just even like the sales cycle in general, how would you break down like just like the things that we kind of did for you just in terms of like the sales process?
I mean the first point is just understand what's the main gap and the main problem even before you implement new systems.
Yeah.
So that was your first, let's say, audit in our agency. Is like, okay, Harold, send me the recordings, send me, for example, even the ads, send me like the messaging, send me the funnels. Everything needs to be in order and analyzed even before working with the scripts and even the presentations.
100%.
Right? And that was like our problem is like, okay, we were hiring like maybe a new closer literally every month. And at some point I was like so desperate with venture. I was like, you know what? Let's just find like a specialist in the sales side who can just come into our offer. We have the funds for the ads. We know we can help companies. Let's just improve.
You guys had really good results too, so it works.
Exactly, but that was like the main problem. So your first audit of like, hey Harold, like here's the main problems in, let's say, the first main gap was the setting point, right? We were not able even to speak to a prospect on the phone.
Yeah.
So even there, if you can't create this excitement to these companies to just come for a 1 hour call, just if this process is very bad, don't expect any show up in any sales call.
That's such a good point. And I think one of the most underrated processes that needs to be focused on, especially in the sales cycle, is the setting. Because if you can't set properly, it doesn't matter if you have the best closer, that person will not get on that call. That person will not take time out of the day and give you some time to listen to what you actually have to offer. So that's such a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like just having all these people to talk to, as you said, like we were spending back in time, that was like a year and a half ago, maybe like 3 or 4K per month.
Yeah.
But even before working with you, we were spending this money, and like the ROAS was bad, conversion was bad, quality of prospects were bad, because like if they don't know what you're selling even before the appointment, they'll just come and be like guessing, you know? And your main goal is, as we said, you want to increase all the percentage, right? The show-up rate was very bad. Like I think we were at like,
I forget what was the exact number.
That was very bad, bro. Maybe like
it was
20, 30%.
Yeah, very low.
Very, very low. And even this 20, 30%, that doesn't guarantee qualified appointments.
Yeah.
And like, I won't say names, but like we even paid a guy $15,000 before working with you.
I remember we talked about that.
Just to like come into our company and just fix that point. We were not able to do it. And once you came in, we were like, okay, let's just work step by step into the main problems and fix it. After that, we went from this 20, 30% to a higher percentage just on the show-up rate.
Yeah.
And just by fixing this percentage,
which is huge. Yeah.
Now you have more volume, more calls, because at the end of the day, volume means more clients.
Yeah.
If you have the right, of course, matrix, KPIs.
Yeah.
So like just having, let's say, double of appointments can help to go from 3 clients a month, 5 clients a month, 6 clients a month, or even more.
Yeah, and really analyzing like each KPI. I remember, and some people like, okay, you'll have, let's say like an offer, or let's say you're new to an offer, let's say you're trying to scale an offer. You might just think, okay, close rate, or why aren't people buying the product? But sometimes like the show up rate, as Harold just mentioned, is super important, because getting that just from 20 to 40%, for example, is doubling the amount of people who show up on your calls, which means your closer has 2 times more the opportunity to close, which just that alone can almost double your revenue if your closer is really good, if you get a higher show up rate. So that's such a big thing. And to really look at the show up rate, the conversation, the set, even in the DMs, you know, I spent a lot of time with this one setter, I forget his name, but we won't name drop, but essentially just really looking at those conversations. And even when it came to the closing call, how was the presentation? How was the opening? And B2B, I feel like is very logical. It's not really 100%. Emotional. So really having that presentation dialed in and selling with confidence, those are all many important things inside the sales cycle that allows you to scale. And I guess that was such a big part to really analyze each KPI.
And that was like the main, you know, let's say success we had by having you coming to our sales, you know, pipeline is even like every day you were there like on point. Hey guys, let's do like a daily meeting, you know, let's review like the form you made for reports. How many prospects did we talk?
The end of the reports.
Yeah, like why we didn't book more appointments. What was your new objections, right? Why did you fail? And all this data, like that's the point of having someone, for example, like you in a sales part, is like everything needs to be considered as data. So every new day we have new information.
Being clear on the data.
Yeah, that we can just leverage and optimize every day.
Yeah, because I think that's such a big thing, because you'll have a lot of people running businesses, you'll have all this data, but you don't track it. And if you don't track the data, you're flying blind. It's like flying with no destination. So to really have all of those, and I even remember the end of day report. Before that, I don't think you guys were even doing that.
No.
So you had setters and closers coming in, but you didn't really know, okay, why aren't their numbers hitting? And we were able to add so much clarity that we said, okay, that's the problem right there, and let's work on that. So to be able to have that clarity was a big help.
Yeah, because the thing is, the main goal is having something where, let's say tomorrow you die. I don't want to, but
guys,
everything can happen, for example.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
I think that's the main problem of agencies and just every company now on average is they expect this person to fix everything.
No.
But everything can happen tomorrow. And that's the thing we liked about having you into our offer is like, hey Harold, like, let me train also your new team, right? Because we were trying to expand. So we hired like new setters, even new closers, right? And because everything was already on point, we were able to have the luxury to hire the best reps. Because you can have 30 calls in the month. You want to hire a closer because you suck at sales, for example. But if tomorrow, I promise you, you want like the top closers into your offer, they come, no SOPs, no guidance, no numbers, no KPIs, nothing on point. I promise you, they will just be like, this agency is not professional. It's too small.
Yes.
Then we just go into another offer.
Yes.
And what you have is just like the bad closers, like that nobody wants.
100%.
Desperate for
and you don't want that.
Yeah.
That's such an important part. And also another part of that is, guys, like if you're bringing in people on your team, you want to make sure everything's dialed in. Because if you're bringing in somebody and, you know, as you said, it's not professional, not only is it not going to be good for the business, but the closer itself is not going to be satisfied. Because he's going to be like, what's going on? So it's important for the people you hire and for the business as well, which is just such an underrated factor. And that's why clarity is so important. That's just the sales process, even the marketing, stuff like that. You really need to have clarity on what you're doing. So yeah, I think that's a good way to break it down. And I think we should take some time to talk about, there was this one moment that was really, really funny.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that story for a second? Because that was like, that was like a moment.
It was super funny. You know, at some point, like sales were like very, very good. I was with my partner venture, like, hey, let's go to Dubai, just like network, just work remotely, right? So we went there, and from Montreal and Dubai, I mean, we have like 8-10 hours of difference.
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
And we had this prospect, right? Which is, it's funny because right now it's our partner, right? So we're doing a lot of things with this.
So they're still working with this guy to this day.
Till this day we work with them, right? And it's so funny because, you know, that day I was like, I don't know, somehow Venture and I was like, let's just wake up at like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. Literally, guys, 2 minutes after, Nick calls me, Harold, I have this guy, like the sales team is like, they need someone of the company to jump in the call.
Yes, and I want to interject because what was happening was there was an issue with the Stripe processing, how to process the payment for like an hour. So I was like, dude, like this is a good lead. And I remember when the guy had called, I remember he was like a good lead from what I saw, stuff like that, but we didn't know really. So there was an issue with the payment and everything, so I had to call Harold.
Yeah, and like he calls me, he's like, hey Harold, like the closer needs help right now, right? Imagine if I was sleeping, right? And even if you didn't call me, if you were not, you know, in that moment with our sales team, and be like, Harold, it's happening right now. Let's jump on a call. Like, this deal will be gone at first. And today, the opportunities that I have with this client,
you wouldn't even be there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like, in French, we say l'effet papillon, right? It's like one small thing brings you to like something way bigger. And that's exactly what happened that day. Is like waking up earlier, having the right team, the right systems, right? Because everything was fixed. I remember even like this client, he was like, once we signed them and they paid like the 12K up front, they were like, guys, you have killers in your sales company. Like when a client pays you $12,000, they don't know nothing about you. They don't know if you can deliver yet, but they're like, guys, just by how the sales are optimized, the first impression, they're like, I want to work with you guys.
Yeah.
We scaled this company to like $1 million a month after like 30 days, which is awesome. Until this day, we work with them. And yeah, it's like everything that you do in your life will affect your future. It can be business, relationships. If you're late, if you're lazy, if you're not on point by fixing every single point of your day in the life, routine, even business, you know, nothing's gonna happen great in your company.
Agreed. That's such a good way of putting it. And I remember that moment vividly because I was laughing so hard.
I was in boxers, bro.
Yeah, he was literally in boxers taking the call. And obviously the guy on the phone can't see you because Zoom on your computer cuts halfway through.
Yeah.
But Harold and I knew it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So yeah. So cool, man. Well, that's a really good way to break it down. And I guess you would say, like, to the person watching who, let's say, would want to work with us. Obviously, sometimes people, they don't know who we are. They've seen our content or videos. What would you say to that person that would be open, but maybe just need that one person to help them and guide them to take that first step?
Yeah, I think it's essential when you start to have someone with experience, because I had to pay thousands, dozens of thousands, trying to do everything by myself, right? So as an agency owner or any type of company you have right now, your goal is not to pay long term. You want to hire someone who can fix every point of your business today, not tomorrow. And I think last year when I work with you, that's something that I have in my mind until this day, that even like every client that I have, any prospect, I tell them like, yeah, like the price that you pay me today, that's like the 12K or 20K upfront. But if you were able to fix, let's say, the opportunities, the shop rate with my services, right now, since the last 6 months, you'll have already like, I don't know, $1 million more in profit in your company.
Yep.
So like, any company seeing this right now, what's better, right? Having all the margins, having everything, trying to do everything yourself today, maybe risking $0, but in 3 months, you might fail something, an opportunity, a sales call that's more expensive that compared to like investing into your company today, right?
100%. And that's so huge because you have to be able to know, like, and a lot of people, they get scared of that number up front, whatever the figure is. They're like, oh my God, that amount. And you think about that figure, you know, whether it be 3K, 12K, 20K, whatever the number is for you to invest inside. That number might seem scary at first, but if you think about the revenue it can generate and the opportunities, that number is just a number in perspective. It's tiny. And it's such a good investment to do. So I think that's a really good way to wrap it up.
Yeah, like that's the way how you should see everything, not as an expense, but as an investment, right? Because like if you can fix, let's say the marketing, the sales part in your business, that will bring you like maybe $10,000 next month.
100%.
In extra revenue, right? So that's how any company needs to see every investment, right? Like if you want to charge 10K for a client, but you can't invest 3, 4K, 5K into your own business, how do you want these companies to pay you? If you don't believe that investing into your own company is worth, you know? So like,
how are people going to invest into you?
Yeah, exactly.
They won't.
You know, because you're the reflection of everything you do. It can be investment, the way how everything's structured, and at some point it's going to pay.
100%. So with that said, well, I really appreciate you for your time, and
yes, sir, bro.
Let's keep scaling the season.
Let's scale the season, bro.
Awesome.